In this video, let us see how to deploy the n8n on a VPS, and after that, let's create a quick AI Telegram chat bot that you see on the screen. Here, you can ask any prompt here. For example, write a Python code to integrate the Telegram bot. You consider it gave us the Python script. So let's see how to do that. Yeah, you can go to the n8n cloud version, but the problem here is that the pricing. If you go to the pricing page of this n8n, you can see that here for monthly you need to pay 20 euros per month. That's why the sponsor of this Mivo is the MivoCloud. So MivoCloud, they are providing the cloud services since 2015. And for the VPS services, they are giving 6 euros per month. Meanwhile, if you look at the n8n, you consider the n8n basic version is 20 euros per month. And they also have the cloud version, and they have the dedicated server which is at 39 euros per month, and they have the web hosting which is at 5 euros per month with unlimited domains and SSL certificate, along with the DDoS protection and 24/7 customer support, all with the SSL certificate. And since they are the sponsor of this video, I have the server with them. So let me go to my server and log in using the SSH. So let me copy the IP address and let me open up the command prompt and I will SSH into it. So SSH, so the username is root, and let me paste the IP address over here and let me log in using my password. You consider I have successfully logged into the VPS. Let me clear the screen and let's update the packages, apt update. Now let's also upgrade our packages, apt upgrade. Now all the packages has been updated, and if you see this free space, you can see that free-s. We are currently on the 4GB VPS, and if you want to see the CPU configuration, LS CPU, we are using the 2-core CPU on the 64-bit architecture. And then actually we're gonna install the n8n using the Docker version. If you open up a new tab and type Docker n8n, so using Docker for n8n installation is very simple. So you consider there are 2 pages. So let's open up the first link that you see on the screen. And here what you need to do is you need to install this Docker first. So the prerequisite is Docker. So let's install the Docker now. So apt install docker.io, and you consider Docker already satisfied. But when you install the Docker for the first time, it will install the Docker for you, and then you need to type system control enable Docker. So once you have done that, then you need to start the Docker, system control start Docker. So now if you check the Docker version, Docker ---- version, if you get any output similar to this, that means the Docker has been successfully installed. Then we need to install Docker Compose as well. apt install Docker Compose. So apt install Docker -compose. So now Docker Compose has also been installed successfully. Let me clear the screen and then let's create the volume nodes. Actually, if you go to this page above, you can see that either you can go with this option, that is this one, or you can go with this PostgreSQL. Actually, by default, n8n uses the SQLite to save the credentials, or you can go with this PostgreSQL, but I will stick with this basic version. If you are an advanced user, you can go with this PostgreSQL, but for the normal users, you can go with this simple n8n. So what I will do is, I will copy the first command that says create volume. Let me copy this and let's paste it here and press enter. Now the volume has been created. Then what you can do is you can copy the below code over here. You can see that here this code simply means we are running the Docker, and the image name is that you see at the bottom. And here in the time zone, you need to fill the time zone. Actually, in my notepad, I have filled the time zone over here. You consider the time zone is Asia Kolkata, and you consider Asia Kolkata. Make sure you fill the time zone. And to this, what you need to do is copy and paste the over here. And I have added one environment variable here. You consider n8n secure cookie. So we're gonna set these to false. So make sure you add this line and press enter. It will download the n8n image for you. Then it will start the n8n server. So this is the Docker image it will pull when you learn for the first time. You consider it is starting the n8n server because I have already pulled the n8n image already. That's why it directly start the n8n server for me. Here you can see now it is available at this URL. Since it is localhost, if you open this up, it won't open because we have connected to the VPS, right? So what you need to do is instead of the localhost, you need to enter the IP address. So let me show you how to do that. So actually, let me go to my dashboard and let me copy the IP address, and instead of the localhost, let me paste the IP address over here and press enter. And you consider we got the n8n dashboard over here. And for the email, what I will do is I will use the test email. So let me open up a new tab and type temp mail. Let me open this first link over here, and let me copy this temporary email address. Let me copy this and paste it here, and let me fill the first name, last name, and the password. And once you have done that, so you need to answer this basic questions over here. So let me select randomly because I don't want to waste time over here by selecting accurately. So then the cool thing is that you consider once you deploy locally on the VPS, you consider you will get all the paid features for free. Consider here, click on this link, send me a free license key. That's why we are deploying n8n on VPS, right? You will get all the paid features for free. And actually, if you go to the temp mail now, you can say your license key is on the way. Let me scroll down. We should get their inbox. Here we have the email. Let me open up this email and let me copy this license key. Let me copy this license key and let me go to the n8n website. And here you can see you have your option called usage and plan. Just click on that and it will go to the server state. Here, just click on enter activation key and paste the activation key that we have copied and click on activate. And that's it. We are on the paid plan now. You consider we are on the community edition, which means all the paid features will be unlocked for you. And let me go to phone page now. Consider this is the phone page. So what we will do is currently we have this IP address, which is annoying, right? If you want to have a URL, what you can do is you can use the Cloudflare for that. Consider Cloudflare. Using this, we can tunnel our IP address and we will get the URL for it with the HTTPS certificate and SSL certificate. Let me show you how to do that as well. Currently, we consider this is not secure, but once you get the URL, you will see it is secure along with it because it is HTTPS and SSL certificate. Let me show you how to do that as well. And you consider currently it is running, right? If you want to minimize this, just press Control P and Control Q. You consider now it is minimized, but if you see the Docker PS-A, it is still running, but we have minimized it. You consider status up 12 minutes. And the next thing is to do that, you consider I have copy and paste your command over here in my notepad. Actually, I will provide the command in the description. You can use that. Here, what we are doing is we are using the Cloudflare Docker image and we are tunneling this localhost URL here. So this is the thing that we are doing. So basically the Cloudflare will give you the HTTPS and press enter. Basically we are tunneling this URL over here. You can see it is unable to find the image locally. That's why it will download the image for us. And once it is downloaded, it should give you the URL that you can use to have the secure connection. You can see here we have the URL here. So let me open this URL. So this is our quick tunnel that has been created. Let me open this URL now. Here you can see now the connection is secure. Earlier this connection was not secure, but this new connection that we have created using the Cloudflare, it is now secure. So what I will do is I will log into the new one. So let me copy this email address over here and let me paste the email address and let me type the password over here to sign in securely. And let me click on sign in now. And here what I will do is I will show you how to create the quick Telegram AI chatbot. Here, once you have reached this page, then what we need to do is, since we are going to create the Telegram AI chatbot, right, we need to change some settings. So I will show you how to do that as well. Actually, if you open up your terminal, so let me minimize this Docker image that is being running now. So actually, we need to make some changes to the n8n. So let me open up the notepad now. And here you need to add some environment variables. So further below this, just add -e. What you need to add is, you need to add the webhook URL. This webhook URL will be the new URL that we got over here. You consider this is the URL, right? That we got once you have configured the Cloudflare. Let me copy this URL. This is our webhook URL and paste it here. This is our webhook URL. Then what we need to add is you need to set the n8n force. So -e n8n force. So this will be the same URL but without the HTTPS. So let me copy this and paste it over here. And yeah, this is it. So now you can run this Docker image now. So let me copy this Docker image and paste it here. Actually, if you run this now, you will get an error because the already an image is running with the name n8n, right? We need to remove that. So let me show you. So Docker remove -f n8n. Now that is removed. Now let's run the same command again. This time the n8n post URL will be the new URL that we have set. Let's see. Here you can see now the editable is access at this URL. Consider earlier it was localhost, right? Now it is the URL that we have set. Let me open this URL. Here click on create workflow. Now we're good to go. Let me click on create workflow and let me click on add first step. And here in this just search for Telegram and search for on message. And here we need to add the Telegram URL. So create new credential and to get the access token, let me show you how to do that. So let me open up a new tab and let me go to the Telegram. And here in the Telegram, just search for bot further. And here you can see I have already created many chatbots over here. If you want to create a new chatbot, just refer online. You can easily create a chatbot. So I have created many chatbots, so I don't want to create a new chatbot again. So you consider I have many chatbots over here. So I will select one chatbot and let me copy his access token. You consider this is the access token. Let me copy this access token and paste the access token over here and let me click on save. And you consider connection tested successfully. You can test this manually as well. So let me click on execute step And let's go to the chatbot now. So let me go to the chatbot and let me send some message over here. So whatever we send over here, it will be captured by the n8n. You consider how are you? So it will be captured over here. You consider the text is how are you? So once we got the text, we can pass this text on LLM. So let's add the second step. So let me click on plus and here select the node HTTP request. And for this, we're going to use the open router and the method will be post method. And to get the URL, let's open up a new tab now because the open router is the only one which will provide the free API key for us and search for the open router. I have already logged in using my credentials. You consider since I have already logged in, so when you visit open router for the first time, if you don't have an account, so make sure you log in using your credentials. So once you have logged in, so let me click on this profile icon and go to preference and let me click on API key over here. And here in the API key section, let me create a new API key now. Let's give a name here, testing 2, and we have set the expiration to no expiration. Let me copy this API key. So let me copy this token somewhere. And before that, let's get the URL first. And if you go to the documentation, actually here, if you scroll down, the URL is this one. Here you consider using open router API. This is the URL that we need. Let me copy this URL and let's go to the n8n. So this is the URL, right? Let me paste the URL here and the authentication. Let's select the predefined credential type and the credential should be bearer auth. So let me select that one. And here you need to set up the credentials and for the bearer token, I have copy and paste the API key in my notepad, right? Let me copy this key over here and paste the key here. And finally click on save and let's also rename this to open router. And let me click on save. And for the parameters, we need to set the body. So the body type will be JSON. So make sure JSON and you consider using JSON. Here I will provide the JSON content in the description. You can check that out. Actually in my notepad I have saved here. So let me copy this body over here. Basically in this we need to send some parameters to the open router. And if you want to select any models, you can change the model. I have used the default one, that is the NVIDIA one. If you want to choose any other models, you can go to the model section of the open router and search for the free models. That is how there are many free models there on the open router. You can choose one of them. But here the model that I have chosen is this NVIDIA one. Then for the messages, for the system message, I have set a simple message. You are a useful AI assistant, respond consciously. And for the content, you need to send the user content. Actually, at the left hand side, we have the content, right? Test. So whatever we send here, we have capture, right? It will be present over here. Just drag and drop over here. We consider we have the content map at the bottom. So let me cut this. So it should be present at this. So this is the user content. And you can try this manually now. So let me click on execute step. Actually, we got a error over here, invalid JSON. So if you get invalid JSON, just wrap this around the double quote. So double quotes equal to, so let's also end this with double quotes. Then you can execute this step. You consider it is executing the node for us. So once it is finished, it should give us the result. Here in the result, what you can do is if you scroll to the right, you consider there will be an option called the so this is reason you consider content. I am doing great. Thanks for asking. How can I assist you today? So this is the AI response. So we need to send this AI response back to the Telegram. For that, let me click on press again, select the Telegram. And here in this Telegram, search for the send a message action. And here for the chat ID, you consider, so make sure you select the proper Telegram account. For the chat ID, actually this is the HTTP request node, right? So if you scroll down, there will be a Telegram trigger node. Here you can see we have the Telegram trigger node expander and we have the chat ID here. So this is the chat ID. Just drag and drop over here to the chat ID. And then for the content, we need to send the content that the AI has responded. So we can get this content in the HTTP request node. You can say this is the content. Just drag and drop over here. And that's it. We can execute this step over now. So when you execute the step, we should get a message in the Telegram chatbot. You can say we got a message. Let me go to Telegram and we got the response as well. And boom, consider I am doing great. Thanks for asking. How can I assist you today? So we can execute the overall workflow now. And let me go to Telegram and let's ask a simple question. So who are you? So let me send this message. And if you go to the n8n, you consider it will process at the each n8n node level. And we got a new message as well in the Telegram. We consider I am Nemotron 3 Super. So each time you don't want to execute workflow, right? That's why you need to publish it. So let me click on publish and let's give you a name for our workflow. So I'm going to click on testing and click on publish. So once you are published, you don't have to click on execute workflow each time. It will be automatically triggered. So let me show you the demo. Let me send a new message now. So what is your model context? So you can see now we didn't click on execute workflow, right? But we will get the message. You can see we got the message as well. So I am Nemotron 3 super large language model. My context is 32,000. So yeah, this is how you deploy n8n on a VPS and create a simple Telegram AI chatbot. So okay, thanks. So you can also get the Python script from it. So I'm gonna ask write a Python code for integrating a Telegram chatbot. Consider we got the response in a step-by-step manner. So to do this, you consider we have the code over here. So yeah, and again, the sponsor of this video is the MivoCloud. I will provide the link of the MivoCloud website in the description. You can check that out. So this is for this video, and I will continue in the next one.